Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
In last class, we had learned vector, resultant of any two vector, and then direction, how to calculate resultant. Wahid, any doubt from last class? I'm defining you one more relation with respect to A, B, and R, which is called Lemmy's theorem. Let's say opposite to this A is some alpha angle, and let's say this is theta. So it states if three vectors forming a closed loop, so there is a relation between them with respect to their angle. So it will be A is equals to B is equals to R. So just see A, and opposite to this particular A will be alpha. So it will be sine of alpha. Similarly, opposite of B is beta. So it will be sine beta, and opposite of R will be this term, that will be theta, or 180 minus theta. For both these terms, you will get same value for sine theta. So it will be just sine theta. So whenever you have alpha, beta, and theta, so instead of using resultant formula, R is equals to root under E square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, you may use this relation to find R instead that. Okay? Mamuna, is it
Yes.
clear? Okay, just write it down. Now, this is all about how to calculate resultant. I'm giving you one more relation. If R is equals to A plus B, then if you want to calculate magnitude of this R, it will be A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta root under. Similarly, let's say R is equals to A minus B. So if you want to calculate resultant for this term, you will get R is equals to A square, B square, and minus of 2AB cos theta. So the sign in between this or this will depend upon this sign. Now on this basis, I'm giving you one more problem. Let's say if A plus B mod, it means resultant in sum is equals to A minus B mod, resultant in this difference are equal, then find theta between A and B. Just put the value of this resultant as this term, this resultant as this term, and take squaring both sides, try to simplify it to get theta. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Try to solve for theta. Sure. Using these two concepts, try to find this term. I'm giving you some hint. Let's say A plus B mod means resultant in sum. So it will be root under A square, B square, and plus of 2AB cos theta equals to A minus B mod, which means resultant in difference. So it will be A square plus B square minus of 2AB cos theta. Now take squaring both sides. Then move each term to one side and simplify it to get theta. Try to solve. Mamuna, just check your calculation. On squaring both sides, you will get A square, B square, plus of 2AB cos theta on left hand side. And on right hand side, it will be A square plus B square minus of 2AB cos theta. Now move each term to left hand side. You will get a square plus b square plus of 2ab cos theta minus a square, b square and 2ab cos theta, and on right hand side you will get just 0. Is it clear till this part?
Yes, sir.
Now this a square and b square will cancel out with this and this term. So you will get plus 2ab cos theta and plus 2ab cos theta. So it will be 4ab cos theta is equals to 0. Now in this whole part, 4ab can never be equals to 0. So what you left with? Cos theta will be 0. So theta for which cos theta will be 0 is 90 degree. Good, Mamuna. Shwab, is it clear? Okay, just write it down. So this is about addition of two vector or defining magnitude of addition of two vector. Next is resolution of vector. It means splitting of a vector into their respective component along different coordinate axes. So this will be the splitting of a vector into their respective component along given coordinate axes. Suppose this is y-axis and this is x-axis. There is a vector from this point to this point like this. So now draw a vertical line to this point and horizontal line to this point. So from this, it will be x component from this point to this point and y component from this point to this point, and a as length of arrow or vector from this point to this point. Let's say theta is inclination of that vector with respect to x-axis. So this is two-dimensional splitting. So if you want to calculate cos theta for this triangle, it will be base over hypotenuse. So from this, you will get x as a times cos theta. Similarly, if you want to calculate sin theta for this, so it will be perpendicular over hypotenuse. So y component will be a times sin theta. Now from this, we can conclude whenever you have a vector which is inclined at some angle theta, so adjacent to this particular theta will be termed as base component. To get that particular base component, multiply this vector by cos theta, just like this. Similarly, opposite to this particular theta, this term will behave as perpendicular component. To get this term, multiply this vector A by sine theta. So this is how we can break a vector into two different components. One would be adjacent to theta and the other opposite to this particular theta. Is it clear? I'm giving you an example related to this. Just write it down first. Okay, I'm giving you some example related to this. Let's say first is simple pendulum. Suppose you have a vertical line and there is a support from which a bob is hanged having mass m using string, let's say at some inclination theta. Length of string is L and mass of bob is m. Now this bob must be experiencing a force in downward direction like this. So it will be m times g due to gravity. Now extend this particular line to this path and draw a perpendicular to that line to this. Now this term and this term will be parallel. So this extended line will be termed as transversal. So this will become theta as corresponding angle. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, in this part, we have mg as a resultant. We have to break mg into two parts. One is adjacent to this theta and one is opposite to this theta. So using this above concept, adjacent to this theta, just multiply the resultant term by cos theta. Similarly, if you do in this part, you will get mg times cos theta as this adjacent component. Similarly, to get perpendicular, try to find by using sine theta. So it will be mg times sine theta as perpendicular component. So this is how we can break a vector into their respective component. One adjacent to that particular theta, which will be treated as base component, and one opposite to that theta will be treated as perpendicular component. Shab, is it clear? I'm defining you one more term, which is called wedge problem. Let's say there is an inclined path on which there is a block having mass m. Let's say inclination of this particular wedge is phi. This block having mass m. So first, if you draw a vertical line to this particular mass, which means this block is experiencing a force due to gravity along this direction as mg. Now, draw a vertical line perpendicular to this path. So it will be along this line. This is phi. This is 90 degree. So this will be 90 minus phi from this point to this point. And this angle would add up to give you 90 degree. So this angle would become phi, as this will be 90 minus phi. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now just neglect this term. Now your one component will be this part. So the opposite component must be perpendicular to this. So it will be along this direction. So using two-dimensional splitting, since mg is your resultant vector, so a vector or a component of vector adjacent to angle must be cos times that, and opposite to this will be sine times that vector. So this is called wedge and block relation. Is it clear, Shreyan? Any doubt till this? Wahid? Okay. Similarly, we may define three-dimensional splitting. Have you all written till this part? Okay. Next is three-dimensional splitting. For this, I'm defining you This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. Suppose there is a block like this. So a vector joining from this point to this point will be A, which will have three components. One will be along this side as AX, the other will be along this side as AY, and the other would be along this side as AZ. Now suppose inclination of this A with respect to x-axis will be alpha. Inclination of this vector with respect to y as beta, and similarly inclination of this vector with respect to z-axis is gamma. So on the basis of alpha, beta, and gamma, we can split A in three different components. Let's say if you write A in terms of vector, it will be x component I cap, y component j cap, and z component k cap. If you want to calculate magnitude of this vector, it will be A is equals to root under x component square, y component square, and z component square. Now, using the previous concept, whenever you have a vector and you have to calculate adjacent component, it will be cos times that term. So it will be cos alpha times A as AX, or you may find alpha as AX over A. Similarly, you may define AY as A times cos beta, as beta is inclination with respect to y. So cos beta will be equals to AY divided by A, and similarly AZ will be equals to A times cos gamma, or cos gamma is equals to AZ divided by A. So from this, you may define alpha, beta, gamma related to any vector, or you may break a vector into their respective component along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. There is another relation between alpha, beta, and gamma, as if you add cos square alpha, cos square beta, and cos square gamma, it will be just 1. Is it clear till this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. I'm giving you an example related to this.
Done, sir.
Wahid, done? Shuab, any doubt till this? Now, using the above concept, try to find if a vector is root 2 times I cap plus 2 times j cap and root 2 times k cap. Find first magnitude of A. Second, try to find alpha. And third, beta. Try to solve. To get A, use A is equals to AX, AY, AZ, which will be nothing but coefficient of I cap, J cap, and K cap respectively. Similarly, to find alpha, just use the above concept, this part, put all the values and simplify it. Should I give you some hint? AX is root 2, AY is 2, and AZ is root 2, root under. So you will get 2 plus 4 plus 2 root under. So it will be 8 root under or 2 root 2. Now put this down in this formula, you will get cos alpha. So cos alpha is equals to AX divided by A. AX is this term and A is this term. Put these two terms and try to find alpha. Similarly, cos beta is equals to ay over a. Ay is this term, a is 2 root 2. Put the term and simplify it. Try to solve. Good, Mamuna. If you put ax as root 2, a as 2 root 2, root 2 and root 2 will cancel out. So you will get just 1 by 2. So cos alpha is equals to 1 by 2. So alpha is equals to 60 degree. Similarly, if you put in this part, ay is 2 and a is 2 root 2. So 2 and 2 will cancel out. So you will get 1 over root 2. So the value of theta for which cos is 1 by root 2 will be 45 degree. So it will be 45. Is it clear, Shreya? Okay, just write it down. So this is all about resolution of vector and addition of vector. Next is product of vector. Why? Any doubt till this? Okay. So how to define it? I'm giving you some relation. Scalar on multiplication with scalar, which will define you nothing but magnitude of any two term or product of magnitude of any two term. So it will be again scalar. Scalar multiplied by any vector. So it will be nothing but change in magnitude of that vector without changing its direction. So it will be again vector. Next is if vector is multiplied by any vector. So we can multiply in two different ways. First is called dot product. So it will be scalar. And second is called cross product. So it will be vector. So we may have four different types of product regarding scalar and vector. Now we have to deal with these two terms as dot product and cross product. So first is dot product. There is a formula A dot B is equals to mod of A mod of B times cos theta. This is your actual formula to find dot product. I'm giving a relation on this basis regarding unit vector. First of all, write it down till this part. Now, to define dot product for unit vector, let's say first for unit vector, I dot I. So it will be using this mod of I times cos theta. Magnitude of I is 1 as it will be unit vector. Similarly, magnitude of I will be 1 unit vector. Theta is angle between these two vectors, as I cap will define you along x-axis. So this again will define you x-axis. So both these two terms must be parallel. So inclination between them will be 0 degree and cos 0 will be 1. So you will get just 1. So from this, we can conclude dot product of same unit vector, that is I dot I, j dot j, k dot k will be 1. This is first relation. Similarly, if you want to calculate for any different vector, let's say I dot j. So it will be mod of I mod of j times cos theta. Magnitude of I will be 1 as it is a unit vector. Magnitude of j will be again 1 as it is again a unit vector. And inclination between these two unit vector will be 90 degree as I cap will be along x-axis, j cap will be along y-axis. So the inclination between x and y will be 90 degree and cos of 90 degree will be 0. So this whole term would become 0. So from this we can conclude dot product of any different unit vector, that is I dot j, j dot k, or k dot I will be 0. Like this. Is it clear?
Yes.
Memo? Okay. Now using this concept, I'm defining product using component. So let's say A having three component, AX I cap, AY j cap, and AZ k cap. Similarly, B having component BX I cap, BY j cap, okay, BZ k cap. Now, if you want to calculate dot product, so it will be A dot B, which means multiply each term with rest of all three, multiply each term with rest of all three, and so on. But in that multiplication, I on multiplication with I will give you 1, and rest of the whole term will give you 0. So on solving all them, you will get AX, BX only, rest of the whole term will be 0. Similarly, AY, BY, and AZ, BZ, only this part. So this will be your dot product of A and B, which means multiply X component with X, Y component with Y, and Z component with Z. Shab, is it clear? The rest of the whole term will be 0. Wahid, any doubt? Okay. Now, how to calculate magnitude of any vector? So A mod, as we defined earlier, will be AX square, AY square, and AZ square. Similarly, B mod will be root under BX square, BY square, and BZ square. Now, on putting all the values in above equation, we will be able to calculate cos theta, as cos theta will be cos theta is equals to dot product of two terms divided by mod of A and mod of B. So this is another formula to calculate angle between any two vectors. To define angle between two vectors. Just write it down. I'm giving you example related to this. Okay. Using this formula, try to find if A is equals to 2i cap plus j cap plus 2k cap, B is equals to I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Let's say this is minus j and plus k. So find first A dot B, second mod of A, mod of B, and third theta using these above result. Try to find. Should I solve or you are doing?
Doing, sir.
Okay. Just put all the values in above formula. First in this part, you'll get dot product. Then in this part and this part, you'll get mod. And using this formula, you will get theta. Try to find. Okay. So to find first A dot B, it will be AX times BX, AY, BY, AZ, BZ. In this part, coefficient of I cap will be AX. So it will be 2 into coefficient of I in B will be BX. Similarly, AY is 1 and BY is -1. AZ is 2 and BZ is 1. So on simplifying it, you will get 2 minus 1 plus 2. So it will be 4 minus 1, 3. Is it clear, Wahid? Okay. Similarly, to get A mod, use the formula AX squared, AY squared, and AZ squared. AX is 2, so it will be square of 2. AY is 1, so it will be square of 1. And AZ is again 2, so it will be square of 2 root under. So you will get 4 plus 1, 5 plus 4, 9 root under. So it will be just 3. Similarly, if you find B mod, so it will be 1 square minus 1 square and plus 1 square. So you will get 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is root 3. Now put all these values in above formula. So cos theta will be A dot B divided by mod of A mod of B. As A dot B is 3, divide by mod of A is 3, mod of B is root 3. So it will be just 1 by root 3. So if you want to calculate theta here, move this cos to the other side. It will become cos inverse times 1 by root 3. Shoaib, is it clear? Okay, just write it down. Mamuna, any doubt in this calculation?
No, sir.
Okay. Wahid, have we done? Okay. Now there is a condition related to this dot product, which is called condition for orthogonality, which means perpendicular condition of any two vectors. Let's say for A perpendicular to B. So theta will be 90 degree and cos of 90 degree will be 0. So if you put this term in this above equation, you will get dot product of two vector to be 0. So whenever you have to find orthogonality of two vector, just take dot product of 2 and put it to 0. I'm giving you one example related to this. Suppose A is equals to 3i cap minus j cap plus 2k cap, and B is equals to I cap plus lambda j cap minus k cap. Find lambda for which A and B are orthogonal or perpendicular. Just use the above concept, take dot product of these two terms and put it to 0. You'll get your answer.
तिहत्तर गया था फिजिक्स का 73
Good memo now. Shoaib, any doubt while solving? Wahid? Take dot product of these two terms, A dot B, which will be multiplication of each term corresponding to it, means AX with BX. So here we have 3 as AX and 1 as BX. So it will be 3 into 1. AY is -1 and BY is lambda. AZ is 2, BZ is -1. And since we have to define orthogonality condition, which means dot product of this would be 0. Now simplify it. Why, any doubt? If you simplify it further, it will be 3 minus lambda minus 2 is equals to 0, or minus lambda is equals to -1. So lambda is equals to 1. Is it clear, Shoaib? Wahid, any doubt? Okay. Now there is some application of this particular dot product. First is to find work done. It will be F dot displacement. Next, to find power, it will be F dot V, and so on. So this is all about dot product and its application. Next is how to calculate cross product. For this, we have a formula: A cross B is equals to A cross B mod times n cap is equals to mod of A mod of B times sine theta n cap. In this product, we have unit vector n cap, which will define its direction, which means cross product is a vector product which having some direction. So first of all, how to define direction of this resultant. So direction of this particular product, use Fleming left-hand rule, which state stretch your three finger, forefinger, middle finger mutually perpendicular to each other and thumb. So this is middle finger, which will align towards first vector. This is forefinger, which will align towards second vector. Then thumb will point towards resultant of this particular product. Let's say A cross B. So there will be theta in between as this. And this resultant would be perpendicular on A as well as on B. So how to calculate direction of this resultant? So first, stretch your left hand finger, thumb, forefinger, and middle finger so that they are mutually perpendicular to each other, like this. Thumb, forefinger, middle finger, mutually perpendicular to each other. Now place middle finger towards first vector. So in this condition, it is going towards downward. So it will be along this. Forefinger towards second vector. So it will be along this, or it will be aligned. Then thumb will point towards resultant. So place your middle finger toward first, forefinger towards second, then thumb will point towards resultant. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Just write it down till this part. I'm defining you how to calculate this product. Wahid, have you done? Okay.
Done.
Now, first we have to define with respect to unit vector or for unit vector. I cross I will be I mod times sine theta n cap. I is unit vector, so it will be 1. I is another unit vector, so it will be 1. And since these two terms will define you x-axis, so these two must be parallel, or theta will be 0 degree. So sine 0 will be 0. So this whole term will be 0. Or you will say it will be null vector. It may be written like this. So from this, we will conclude cross product of same unit vector I cross I, j cross j, or k cross k will be 0. First part. Similarly, if you have to calculate for different term, let's say I cross j, so it will be I mod j mod times sine theta n cap. Mod of I is 1, mod of j is 1, sine theta, I will define x-axis, j will define y-axis, and these two must be perpendicular. So sine 90 will be 1 times n cap. So this will give you 1 times n cap. It means there should be a unit vector which must be perpendicular on x and y both. So I'm defining you with respect to coordinate axis. Let's say this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. So I cap will define you this direction, j cap will be this direction. So a vector perpendicular to both I and j would be along this direction. So it must be k cap. So from this we can conclude I cross j will be k. Similarly, j cross k in anticlockwise will be I, and last k cross I will be j. So whenever you move in anticlockwise direction, it will give you positive value, but if you move in clockwise direction, it will give you negative value. It means I, j, and k. So k cross j will be minus I, j cross I will be minus k, and I cross k will be minus j. So it will be negative. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now using this, we have to take product of two terms. So A is equals to AX I cap, AY j cap, and AZ k cap. B is equals to BX I cap, BY j cap, and BZ k cap. So to define cross product of these two terms, there is a concept which is called determinant method to take product of these two terms. Determinant method, which states you A cross B is equals to right I cap, j cap, and k cap. Value of first vector as coefficient. So it will be AX, AY, and AZ. Similarly, coefficient of vector B, which will be BX, BY, and BZ. Depending upon position of each term, as horizontal line defines you row and vertical line defines you column. So position of this I will be 1 and 1, which on summing up will give you 2, and which is even term. So it will be positive. For this term, if we define its position, it's having first row and second column. So it will be 1 plus 2, which will be odd. So it will define you negative. And similarly, third part, which is in first row and third column. So 1 plus 3 will be 4, which is again even. So it will be plus. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
First of all, write it down till this part. Then I will define you how to calculate product of this.
Done.
Wahid, have we done? Okay. Now, if you expand this, place your finger on A along vertical line and along horizontal line both. Then you will get I in plus coefficient. So it will be plus mod. What you left with? AY, AZ, BY, BZ. So it will be AY, AZ, by bz mod. Similarly, if you take for this j cap, place your finger vertically to this and horizontal to this, you will get minus j as coefficient. It will be ax, az, bx, and bz. Mod. Again, if you place your finger vertically to this term, you will left with these four segments. So it will be k cap mod ax, ay, bx, and by mod. Shrab, is it clear how I have defined this? Wahid, any doubt in this part? Okay. Now, to get product of this term, on multiplying this part to this part, take positive sign, but on going from bottom to top, take negative sign. Similarly, for this term to this term, take plus, and on going from bottom to top, take minus. Similarly, for this part, it will be this. Now, if you expand using this concept, you will get plus I cap times ay bz minus az by minus j cap ax bz minus az bx plus k cap ax by minus ay bx. So this is how we calculate product or cross product. Just write it down. I'm giving you example related to this. Shab, any doubt? Okay. Have you all written till this part?
Yes.
Now suppose if A is equals to I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap, B is equals to 2I cap minus j cap plus k cap. Using this, find first A cross B, then mod of A, mod of B, and then theta. I'm defining you how to calculate it. First of all, write A cross B is equals to mod I cap, j cap, and k cap mod. So to define its position, first term will be positive, second term will be negative, and third term will be positive. Write each term of first vector A. So using this term, it will be 1, 1, and 2. Similarly, using B, it will be 2, minus 1, and 1. Wahid, is it clear? Now apply the above concept in this part. You will get I cap in positive term mod. So draw a line or place your finger on this point horizontally and vertically. You are left with this, this, and this. So it will be 1, 2, minus 1, and 1 as first part. Similarly, if you do the same process for j cap, you will left with this, and this. So it will be 1, 2, 2, and 1. Similarly, for third part, k cap, you will get mod 1, 1, 2, minus 1 mod. Now, on going from this point to this point, take positive, but on going from this point to this point, take negative. Similarly, for this part and this part, for this part and this part. Now simplify it, you'll get your answer. Wahid, any doubt? Mamuna, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, try to simplify. To get mod A and mod B, apply the same formula as we did in the previous part. Mod of A will be root under ax square, ay square, az square, and mod of B will be root under bx square, by square, and bz square. Any doubt while solving?
No, sir.
Mamana, you have done a little mistake. Just see how to simplify it. Since we have I, so it will be I cap times 1 into 1, so it will be 1, minus minus plus 2, so it will be 2, minus of j cap 1 into 1, so it will be 1, 2 into 2, 4, and there is negative sign, so it will be minus 4 plus k cap 1 into minus 1, so it will be minus 1, and 2 into minus 1, so it will be minus 2. On simplifying it, you will get 3 times I cap minus minus plus 3 times j cap and minus of 3 times k cap. This all term having I, j and k component, so we can't add them together. Okay, Mamuna? Shwab, is it clear? Wahid, any doubt? Next is we have to calculate a mod. So it will be root under x component, that is 1 square ay so it is again 1 square and az 2 square. So 1 plus 1 plus 4, it will be root of 6. Similarly, mod of b will be root under bx, that is x component of b, y component of b, and z component of b. So it will be root of 6. Now, if you put these two terms, and again, you have to define another relation. Since our formula was A cross B is equals to A cross B mod times n cap is equals to mod of A times mod of B into sine theta n cap. So if you relate first two terms, you will get n cap is equals to A cross B divided by mod of that term, A cross B mod. So this will be a unit vector perpendicular to both vector A and B. Now, if you define or relate this term with this part, n cap and n cap will cancel out. So you will get sine theta is equals to A cross B mod divided by mod of A mod of B. Since we have calculated A cross B as this term, so if you calculate mod of that, so it will be A cross B mod is equals to I component square, so it will be 3 square, j component square, so it will be 3 square, and k component, that is minus 3 square. So 9 plus 9 plus 9, that is 27. So it will be 3 root 3 only. Now, on putting all the values in this part, you will get A cross B mod as 3 root 3 Divide by mod of A, we have calculated as root 6 and root 6. So on simplifying it, it will be 3 root 3 divided by 6 or root 3 divided by 2. So the value of theta for which sine theta is root 3 by 2 is 60 degrees. Is it clear, Mamuna?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. Wahid, any doubt? Okay, Shab,
Done.